The other game we played, this is going to be a little obscure, I think, is Valiant Wars. I don't know when Quinn launched this. Quinn Washburn from, what is the name of that company of his? Strange Machine Games. So he has a couple interesting games out there. He's got a game called Iconoclash, which I think crowdfunded a year or two ago. And we did a crossover with him, a dungeon drop crossover that hasn't launched yet, that he's going to launch soon. And then he has another game called Super Battlemon, which Iconoclash is like a platformer. It's a board game platformer. So it feels like you're kind of jumping around on platforms and stuff, which is a cool concept. Then he has Super Battlemon, which is it's kind of like a TCG, but the lightest of light TCGs, where you get a booster pack of 9 cards, and that's an entire deck. And you can get any booster packs that you want, mix them all together, randomly draw out 9 cards, or choose 9 cards that you want. Any 9 cards makes a deck. And then the battles are like 5-minute battles. So it's kind of a neat thing. And again, we did a crossover with him for that game as part of our game Widgets Workshop, which we launched a couple months ago on BackerKit. So anyway, done a couple crossovers with him. At the moment, Valiant Wars is my favorite of his games. So it's a push your luck deck building card game. Push your luck in the same way as something like Ink and Gold at one end of the spectrum, the super simple, or Quacks of Quedlinburg, a little bit more towards the hobby market. This is a deck builder. So kind of like Quacks is a bag builder. You're putting the different chips, and you're buying an upgraded chips and putting them in the bag, and then the next round you're going to draw from the bag and hope to not draw the bad chips. Well, in this case, you're starting with a standard deck of 10 cards, just like most deck builders. And you have gold that's going to be used to buy better cards that you're going to shuffle in for the next round. And you have soldiers, and then you're going to be eventually getting better champions that have military strength or fighting strength, and that's what you're going to be using to take over the territories, which are how you get the real victory points. And then you have Dark Omens, and you start with 3, and then every 3 victory points that you get, you add another Dark Omen into your deck. And that's the push your luck element, because essentially simultaneously we all draw one, lay it out, and if it's a Dark Omen, you know you're now at risk, because if you draw a second Dark Omen out on the table, you just kind of lay out the cards in a line. If you draw a second Dark Omen, you bust for the round. You can't buy anything, you can't take over the territories. So at any point, you can be like, I'm done. I like what I got. I got some gold. Maybe I got enough military strength to possibly take over the territory. In the end of the round, whoever has the most military strength takes the territory for the round, and then you go on to the next round after buying some new cards. Really, really simple. It's simultaneous, which I love. Everyone's playing from beginning to end. I mean, if you bust, then you have like a minute and a half that you're not playing while the other players continue to play their cards until they bust or decide to exit. So it's super approachable and accessible. It is set up in 3 minutes. It's a small box, and just a really cool theme. The graphic design is super simple too. Nice big icons, big text, which I wear glasses. You know, text is another thing for me. If it's really small text, I don't have the eye power for it anymore. But I love the push your luck feel. It adds some tension. It's real-time tension in a way because it's simultaneous. It's not real-time, like it is still turn-based, but simultaneous. And so to compare it to something like Ink and Gold. Ink and Gold I pull out when I have like 6 or above players. 6, 7, 8, I think that goes up to 8. That game is awesome when you have a group of like 8 players and you actually want to play a game. It's so lightweight. It's so simpler than this. And it scales up to 8 players. Quacks, I don't know if it goes to 5. I would probably generally only play it with 4 or 3, but that's a much bigger box. It's a more setup involved, and quite a bit more setup involved actually, with all the different color of the spell books and everything, and you have to put chips in the right place. So that one's a heavier game. This one is, I won't even say it's smack in the middle. It's closer to the Ink and Gold side. It I think only goes up to 5 players. So this isn't something I would take out with the larger group of players. But when I have a smaller number of players and we want something fast, this could be an end of night filler, or a starter opener, or just one that we just want to play. It is a lot of fun. For a game like this, I wouldn't have expected it to rise so high in popularity with our group, and the rating on my end, which is, I'm going to give it a 7.5 for now. It might, 8 to me is reserved for true excellence, and I mean, I think this is a great game. Is it excellence or above? Not quite there yet. I hope he's going to do more with this. He did one expansion, which is in here, Champions, and I thought he said he was going to do more. So Quinn, I would love to see more Valiant Wars from you. As far as the Fiddly-factor, elegant. This is so simple, so streamlined, and so clean, and the graphic design matches that. And that is why this one is a solid game for us that will not go anywhere. We will keep this one, play it for a long time.